The Death of Robin Hood is a thriller action movie directed by Michael Sarnowski. I really like this writer-director. He does a lot of good movies, usually dramas. He's known for basically doing movies that are kind of like deep into character study, as well as small bursts of violence. So this movie is a subversion of the myth of Robin Hood based off the book. Whenever you think of Robin Hood, you think of the version from Shrek or the Errol Flynn version where he's like got a goatee, he's jolly, he's always hanging around the merry men. They're outlaws, they're roguishly handsome and charming, and they steal from the rich to give to the needy. And they go up against the corrupt sheriff of Nottingham, as well as the cowardly Prince John. He's always depicted as a coward. And they usually have some romance in there with Maid Marian, disguises, arrow stuff, you know, quarterstaff, wrestling, all sorts of fun stuff. However, this is kind of like the 2010 Robin Hood, where the entire movie is a subversion. So instead of a myth hero, man of the people, he's actually like a vicious, PTSD-ridden brigand, mercenary, sellsword type who's just wandering, and he's cursed with people knowing who he is and trying to kill him. And he basically bumps into his only surviving friend, Little John, who's trying to get back his family because he tried to steal another man's identity and basically take another woman as his own. So Robin helps him fight off a family and starts a blood feud and ends up getting grievously injured. He ends up at a priory island, sort of healing sanctuary. So he's brought there and he has to rebuild all of his muscles. However, he finds purpose there befriending Bridget, the prioress. She runs the place and they don't have a lot of manpower, so he traps rabbits for them, and sort of it's a sort of character study about redemption, and they throw in a lot of rich themes of myth and religion and redemption, forgiveness, all really heavy stuff. I wasn't expecting a movie like this to have that much depth, but you know, this is a Michael Sarnowski movie, so it's more than just a surface level action, and the movie does have some brutal hand-to-hand combat action, which I liked, but the most of the action is only in the first half of the movie, and the rest of the movie is a drama. So what people might not like about this movie, they don't realize this is an A24 film. So A24 films are always very art house, and this one's no different. And Michael Sarnowski's other films also follow into the same sort of defy your expectations, because the movie Pig is about a chef named Robin, another Robin. He is a hermit living in the middle of nowhere with his truffle pig when his truffle pig is stolen, and he has to go get it back. You know, this sounds like an emotional sort of John Wick-like action thriller, but the movie turns into a different kind of drama, but it still has a lot of interesting standoffs and conflicts and really cool character moments, especially Robin trying to do a ratatouille on someone in order to get some answers. So the movie subverts all your expectations in really cool and interesting ways. It's almost like Michael Sarnowski does that on purpose, because he writes a movie and then you think it would go in this direction, but he does the opposite. And the same goes for A Quiet Place Day One. My friend and I thought it would be like an action-packed sort of disaster movie, but it's more so a soulful sort of nostalgic road trip movie about a woman with cancer trying to relive an old memory before the monsters or the cancer takes her. So it's a different kind of movie than what you're expecting, and Robin Hood is the same way. It does follow some elements of the book, but ultimately a very beautifully acted movie about found family, about forgiveness. There's a really good side role of a leper who's also on the island, who sort of takes Robin under his wing in order to teach him about the trees and how to take care of people. It's a really great, simple, drama after all the brutal, violent action. And I thought the movie would go in a more cliche way by having like the island be invaded by raiders or something, but the movie doesn't go in that direction. Some people might not like that. The trailer sort of hints at this because there's repeated usage of "I'll protect her" and there's like a little girl involved. But overall, The Death of Robin Hood is a very adult movie. It's very heavy in themes and all sorts of different character development things, really good performances as well. You got some pretty good heavyweights in there like Hugh Jackman and Jodie Comer, and the guy who played the leper, he works on a lot of TV and he won an Emmy, so he's really good too. And Noah Jupe's in there too in a small role, as well as some brutal action at the beginning. And Bill Skarsgård too. So this movie for me was a triumph. I really enjoyed it. My friend did not, but that's the way the arrow is knocked. So I give The Death of Robin Hood a 7.5 out of 10.